Chloe stands in her Cresthaven living room, the camera capturing the dim flicker of a faulty ceiling light against the evening's soft dusk, the distant hum of the lake filtering through the window. She's in a loose sweater, her hazel eyes sparkling with mischief and warmth, a playful smirk curling her lips. "You guys will never believe what happened. I'm Chloe, painting my way through the lakeside town of Cresthaven, chasing moments that spark the soul on canvas. Tonight, a flickering light in my living room brought Vincent, the building's electrician, with salt and pepper hair, warm amber eyes, and a voice like a spotlight on a quiet stage to my door. What started as a simple repair turned into a conversation that lit up more than the room. Want to know how it unfolded? Keep watching, because this story's all about an evening that shines brighter than any bulb. Like and subscribe for more." The evening in Cresthaven was crisp, the air alive with the gentle lapping of the lake and the faint scent of pine and damp earth drifting through the open windows of Chloe's historic home. Her day had been spent in her attic studio, blending vibrant oils for a new canvas, a twilight lakeside scene that echoed her restless energy. Her home, with its creaking oak floors, ivy-draped windows, and walls adorned with her bold paintings, was her sanctuary, but tonight, a flickering ceiling light in the living room had disrupted her peace, casting erratic shadows across her latest sketch. Chloe's dangerous desires, always simmering beneath her calm exterior, were like a brush poised over a blank canvas, waiting for a spark to ignite a masterpiece. When she called the building's maintenance line, she hadn't expected Vincent, the electrician who'd fixed her studio outlet last summer, to show up after hours, his presence igniting a warmth that outshone the faulty bulb. At 59, Vincent was a former theater lighting technician turned electrician, his salt and pepper hair swept back, his warm amber eyes, carrying the depth of years designing stage lighting for plays, and his hands steady from years of wiring spotlights moving with a precision that felt like a perfectly timed cue. His evening, Chloe, during past repairs, paired with a quiet smile, had always felt professional but warm, like a stage light set low but ready to brighten. She'd told herself it was just appreciation for the man who'd once adjusted her studio's wiring, who'd shared a story of lighting a Shakespeare production. But tonight, as the dusk deepened and the light flickered, her dangerous desires were ready to paint a new scene, one that glowed beyond the wiring. Living room, 7:00 p.m. The ceiling light flickered erratically, casting dancing shadows across the living room's oak walls, where Chloe's paintings, lakeside twilights, stormy skies, and abstract swirls caught the uneven glow. The air was cool, the scent of pine and paint thinner mingling with the faint must of old wood. Chloe opened the door to Vincent, his tool bag slung over his shoulder, his denim jacket slightly worn, his amber eyes bright under the hall light. "Trouble with the light," he said, his voice a steady hum, like a technician cueing a spotlight. "Let's get it sorted." The lake's hum was a faint backdrop, the dusk outside settling like a quiet curtain. Chloe leaned against the couch, her loose sweater slipping off one shoulder, her hair tousled from a day of painting. "You're a lifesaver, Vincent," she said, her voice light but teasing, her hazel eyes glinting with curiosity. "Didn't think you'd come out this late for a bulb." She gestured to the ceiling, her fingers brushing the air, the motion sending a spark through her like a brushstroke hitting a canvas. "Here's where the sketch begins, audience," she thought, her inner monologue painting the moment, a dim room, a flickering light, a glance that colors the shadows. Vincent stepped inside, his eyes flickering to her before focusing on the light fixture, his smile warm but cautious. "Can't let an artist work in the dark," he said, setting his bag down, his voice carrying a depth that felt less like a repair and more like a scene unfolding. "You been painting something new?" The air was charged, the lights flicker casting their shadows in a soft dance, the dusk outside deepening the intimacy. "Kitchen, 7:30. After inspecting the fixture, Vincent suggested coffee to take the chill off, and they moved to the kitchen, a small room lit by a single pendant light, the scent of coffee grounds and pine mingling with the lake's faint dampness. Chloe leaned against the counter, pouring beans into a grinder, while Vincent stood nearby, his jacket draped over a chair, his flannel sleeves rolled up to reveal forearms marked by years of wiring stages. The air was cozy, but charged, the lake's hum a quiet pulse through the cracked window. "You're out here fixing lights after hours," she said, handing him a mug, her fingers grazing his, the contact warm and fleeting, like a stroke of paint. "You're not just an electrician, are you, Vincent?" The canvas is alive now, audience, she thought, addressing her imaginary viewers, each word a hue, each glance a shade of something bold. Vincent's chuckle was low, warm, his hand resting on the counter near hers, his amber eyes catching the light. Maybe not, he said, his voice like a technician cueing a soft spotlight, used to light stages, plays, musicals, moments that made people feel. But your paintings, Chloe, they've got that same spark. Saw that twilight piece in your hall. It's like you caught the lake's heart. His words carried a quiet intensity, and the air shifted, the pendant light amplifying the moment, her plan gaining momentum like a painting taking shape. Her mind flickered to memories, vivid and fluid, like strokes on a canvas. Vincent last summer, fixing her studio outlet, pausing to admire her mural, his voice warm as he said, "You've got a way with light, Chloe." Another fragment, a rainy afternoon when he'd checked her wiring, humming a show tune, her laugh teasing as she said, "You're wasted on circuits, Vincent." Then, a quieter hue, last month, him helping her move a canvas to her porch, his hand brushing hers, his voice soft, "Your work's got soul, Chloe." A more recent stroke, him pausing at her door after a repair, his eyes catching hers as he said, "You make Cresthaven feel like a stage." Each memory was a brushstroke, layering their connection, pulling her toward a truth she'd been sketching around. Living room, 8:15 p.m. Back in the living room, the ceiling light now glowed steadily, its warm light joining the fireplace's crackle, casting a golden hue across the oak walls and Chloe's paintings. A record player spun a soft jazz tune, Miles Davis, soulful and slow, its notes weaving through the air, mingling with the scents of cedar, burning logs, and Vincent's cologne bergamot, sharp and grounding, like a stage light's focus. They settled on the plush couch, closer now, the lake's shimmer a faint backdrop through the window. The conversation deepened, the fire's rhythm a steady pulse as they spoke of her art, his theater days, the moments that shaped them. "I paint to capture something before it fades," she said, her voice fervent, her fingers brushing the couch's edge, its texture grounding her. "I want my work to make people feel alive, like a stage lit just right." Does that sound too much? Her hazel eyes searched his, her dangerous desires urging her to push past the surface, like a brush seeking the perfect hue. Vincent leaned closer, his elbow brushing hers, the contact sending a spark through her like paint hitting a canvas. "Not too much," he said, his voice low, resonant, like a technician cueing a perfect scene. "Your paintings have that spark, Chloe. That twilight piece, it's like you lit up a moment I'd forgotten. It's magnetic." His words carried a new intensity, a crack in his reserved facade, and the air grew heavier, the firelight amplifying the moment, her plan unfolding like a painting taking shape. "Hey guys," Chloe said, her voice bright but laced with mischief, breaking the moment as if speaking to her imaginary audience, her eyes glinting as she leaned back. "We're about to get into the spicy portion of the story, so please don't forget to like and subscribe." She grinned, the words a playful shield, but her heart pounded as the light flickered briefly, the room glowing warmer, the fire's crackle echoing their tension. "Here's where the canvas ignites, audience," she thought, her inner monologue vivid. "You came to fix the light, Vincent," she said softly, her voice charged with truth, her hazel eyes unwavering. "But you're still here, and it's not just about the bulb anymore, is it?" The silence was electric, Miles Davis's notes a soft pulse, the living room shrinking to just them, the couch, the firelight, the lake's faint hum. Her heartbeat quickened, her dangerous desires painting a scene she couldn't ignore. Vincent's gaze softened, his voice low, strained but warm, like a spotlight finding its mark. "No, it's not," he said, his eyes flickering to their close hands, then back to hers, a spark of something unguarded breaking through. "You've got this way of lighting up a room, Chloe, like one of your paintings. I came to fix a bulb, but I'm staying because of you." His words echoed the quiet power of a song binding a community, resonating with her heart. Her smile widened, her heart soaring, the tension pulsing like the firelight's glow. "Maybe I like that you stayed," she said, her voice teasing but honest, leaning closer, her hand brushing his, the contact electric, like paint spilling across a canvas. "The fire's in us now," she thought, her inner monologue bold. "Maybe I want this to be more than a quick fix." Her eyes locked on his, the jazz swelling like a cue, her plan unfolding in the charged silence. Porch, 9 o'clock. Pumthee stepped onto the porch, needing air, the night now clear, the lake's shimmer reflecting a crescent moon above. The porch lantern cast a soft glow, the air alive with the scent of pine and frost, the lake's hum a steady rhythm. Chloe leaned against the railing, Vincent beside her, their shoulders close, the silence heavy with possibility. Here's where the colors blend, audience, she thought, her inner monologue painting, where the sketch becomes a painting, bold and unapologetic. Another memory surfaced, fluid and vivid. Vincent, last winter, checking her studio's wiring, pausing to admire her sketch, his voice warm, "You make Cresthaven feel like a stage." Then, a recent stroke, him helping her hang a canvas, his fingers brushing hers, his smile brief but lingering in her chest. The memories layered like colors, tightening the connection between them, her heart pounding with the possibility of a new scene. "I don't want this to just be about the light," she said, her voice steady, her eyes locked on his, her hand grazing his arm, the contact grounding her like a finished painting. "What do you want, Vincent? Now that we're here, in the moonlight." He leaned closer, his smile slow, deliberate, his eyes tracing her face like a technician reading a stage. "I want to see where this light goes," he said, his voice soft but weighted, like a spotlight finding its mark. "You're bold, Chloe, bolder than I was ready for. You're lighting up my night, and I don't think I want to dim it." The lantern flickered, the lake's hum a quiet witness, as resonant as a song spreading through a community. The air was thick with possibility, Chloe's dangerous desires burning brighter than the stars. "You're making it hard to keep this practical," she teased, her voice a mix of playfulness and truth, her courage steady like a brush in her hand. He chuckled, his fingers brushing hers on the railing, the touch warm and electric, like a spark in a quiet theater. "Practical's overrated," he said, his voice low, rich, carrying the weight of their moment. "What do you want, Chloe? Now that we're here, at midnight." Her heart pounded, the spark of his touch, as vivid as her paintings, as enduring as a song's legacy. "I want this," she said, her eyes locked on his, her hand pressing against his, the contact grounding her like a finished canvas ready to be hung. "This moment, you." The lake shimmered, its rhythm a soft applause, as her dangerous desires saw more than sparks, leaving a daring new chapter, one fearless stroke at a time. Chloe leans against the porch railing, the camera capturing the lantern's glow and the lake's distant shimmer under the moonlight. She smiles, her eyes bright with mischief and warmth. And that's how a light repair turned into a spark we couldn't ignore. Cresthaven's got a way of making nights like this feel like art, doesn't it? If you love this story, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Chloe's Dangerous Desires. What's next for me and Vincent? Stick around to find out. See you in the next one.